Howdy! If you saw my video earlier this week, you'll know that I am addicted to Star Stable Online. So addicted, in fact, that I have spent all of my star coins, and now I'm bored and I have nothing to do in the game other than race. So I figured, hey, why not play another equally cash grabby, buggy game to Star Stable? So we're gonna be playing The Sims 4. I've wanted to do some Sims content on my channel for a while, but I had absolutely no idea how to do it and make it relate to horses. But then Jack, in his wonderful, wonderful brain of his, said, why don't you just build some of the locations from Star Stable in The Sims? And I said, you know what? That's a really good idea! So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. Only I'm a very, very picky builder. So it's actually just gonna be a speed build, and I'm gonna show you the build at the end. All in all, I think it took me about 10 hours to build this. Obviously, I make great use of my free time. I don't know what you guys are talking about. There are a couple of content creators who have already done this on their channels, so shout out to them. Go check out some of the stuff they've built in The Sims 4. But this is my interpretation of Moorland Stables. Hello everybody, this is my second time trying to record this voiceover because I'm a bit stupid. I've never actually done a speed build that required a voiceover, so I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to be saying. But right now I'm working on the just main house as well as the inn. This was probably my favorite part to build. I really loved I love roofing. For me, roofing is a really fun puzzle. I know some people hate roofing. It could not be me. I don't understand why you would hate it. For me, it's really fun. But I really just loved getting to play with the shape and building the courtyard. But really quick before we get too far into the build, the courtyard that you'll notice in Star Stable now is open and grassy and beautiful. And the photos that I was referencing when I was doing the initial shape of the build, because I didn't want to log into the game and kill my PC, they were from like 2015, 2016, when the courtyard was stone and very structured and had a lot of hay bales and everything. So the courtyard is 100% not like 2023 Moorland Stables. It's definitely 2016 vibes. But the rest of the build, when I actually had to log into game because I couldn't find photos of various angles, is very, very 2023. So this is kind of like a sweet spot between very early Moorland Stables and where Moorland Stables is now. You can see that I'm fooling around with actual like laying a floor down. I ended up totally abandoning that in favor of terrain paint, but I changed it like 5 million different times because, fun fact, I think I mentioned in the opening that it took me 10 hours to build this. I am just one of those people where my ideas for things change about 10 million times before I actually settle on, okay, this is what we're gonna do. And it's because as I'm doing a thing, I have these ideas like, OMG, wait, you know what would be great? And so it makes for like real, like I'm not super productive because I change things 5 million times, and maybe it's just being a perfectionist, but like, it's not that I'm sitting here like, oh my gosh, this is terrible. It's more like, wait, you know what would be cool? Like I just get really excited because it's like a brand new idea and it's amazing. So that's how I am. I'm like that with everything. There was 1 week, so fun fact, I have a model horse series called Necrosis. For those of you who are new to my channel and are Star Stable people, model horses, briar horses, first and foremost, is like my thing. It's what I do. And I have a series called Necrosis. And recently, I have been really, really focused on building lots of sets and making lots of costumes for the Fate Arc portion of Necrosis. And I was building this set, and I had a very clear idea, like I had a whole Pinterest board of, okay, this is what the set is gonna look like. And then halfway through building it, I was like, OMG, wait, no, I could do this instead of that, and it would be way cooler. So I changed my mind halfway through, and I had already been frequenting all of the hobby shops in my area like a mad woman. I needed paint, but I had just been into Michael's, and I knew the Michael's had the paint that I needed, but I had literally just been in there and I didn't want the employees to be like, you were just here, what are you doing back? So I then went to Joann's. Joann's did not have the paint I needed. So then I went to Hobby Lobby because while I had been to Hobby Lobby recently, it wasn't as recent as Michael's. So I was like, okay, maybe Hobby Lobby will have it. Hobby Lobby did not have it. So I had to go to Michael's anyways. So yeah, But that's just how I am. I'm the person who frequents hobby shops while I'm in the middle of a project because I change my mind 10,000 times. Just like I started on the floor plan of the house there and changed my mind, deleted it. I was like, I'm gonna come back to this later. Because I really wanted to look at like Tudor house floor plans and kind of base the floor plan of the house off of Tudor styles. Obviously, in Star Stable, you cannot go into the main house or the inn or anything like that to see what it looks like. But in making a Sims build, I really wanted something that was functional for your Sims to actually live in. So if you wanted to have the Moorlands move in, you could. Or if you wanted to have your own Sims move in, you could too. So I took a lot of liberties in figuring out like what a floor plan might look like, what the interior of the house might look like. So all of this is up to creative interpretation, and it's just what I personally think would have happened. Also, part of the reason that I felt inclined to do this was because EA was kind of teasing horses on their social media. Like they were responding to people on TikTok with horse emojis when they would mention horses. So for a while, like when I was building this, I genuinely thought we were gonna get horses. I was like, oh my gosh, they're actually teasing horses, because when EA teases something like that, you know you're getting it. But they recently revealed their roadmap for their next 4 kits, and the theme is Take Me Home, which to me, I immediately go, oh, country roads, take me home. That's why they were posting about horses. Got it. We're not actually getting horses. So I don't know, but maybe one day if we get horses in The Sims 4, I will take this build and I will convert it to have horses, because I already put a couple of functional items from Cottage Living down, like I put in a chicken coop by the inn. Editor Megan here just popping in to say, obviously I recorded this a while ago because we've had 2 kits released since this initial audio recording. One was a basement kit and one was a gardening kit. So I definitely think we could still have horses in the near future. So you'll notice here in the kitchen, actually you'll notice like the entire downstairs, except for the 2 windows in the front, there are no windows in Moorland Stables. So I went ahead and added one in the kitchen because I thought it was really weird that there would be no windows in the main house. And I also added a back door that goes out to a garden that doesn't exist in the game because, again, I wanted to make this something functional. So you can go back there, you can garden. You could convert one of the, arenas into, crop fields if you wanted. But, do what you will. But overall, the main vibe that I wanted for the house was 2 guys live here. A woman might have lived here at one point, but so far it's really just Thomas and his son Justin, because obviously Catherine Moorland, Thomas's wife, died giving birth to Justin. Sorry, Justin. That's depressing. But so yeah, that was kind of the vibe that I wanted. I was like, okay, 2 dudes live here. You're gonna have a lot of clutter. It's not gonna be totally just awful. There's not gonna be stains on the walls. Obviously, I think Thomas would definitely take care of things for Catherine's memory. But, you've got clutter in the kitchen, you've got pots and pans out, you've got books and papers scattered around in the living room. But then you have these touches here and there, up in the, we're not calling it master bedroom anymore. I don't know what we're calling it now, but up in the master bedroom, there's this rug that's obviously very feminine looking that I imagine Catherine probably picked out. But then in that walkway there, you've just got random boxes of stuff chucked there because, 2 guys living there. What they gonna do? They're not gonna clean up. I don't think anyways. So yeah, I tried to keep this as base gamey as possible, but I do have all of the expansion packs and most of the game packs, excluding the Star Wars pack. And then I do have my wedding stories, but I tried not to use it because I know a lot of people don't want to download it. I guess now is a good enough time to plug my EA gallery ID so you can find this. If it's not Snoopyismyhorse, it's the Lunar Ladybug. I'm trying to change it, but I don't know if I can, so. And then over there, I gave Justin this little gamer nook because it said online that Justin is into horse breeding sims. Also, this part here, I'm so sorry. I know Justin's not a teenage boy, but he's 20 or 19, right? Nah, he would have pinup posters of Hatsune Miku and magazines. I just, listen, this is my interpretation. He's sleazy. He's kind of gross, And then I settled on a really nice cock photo over the, over the toilet. it because, you know, 2 guys live here. This bedroom here, so there was a bump out that I didn't know what to do with because, you know, there's only 2 people who live here. So I made this like a spare bedroom that maybe at one time Catherine and Thomas were planning on having more than just Justin. And they were like, okay, we're gonna have more than 1 kid, so we'll have like a 3-bedroom house. Obviously that did not happen. She died. Here we get to the really sketchy 70s motel vibe. Don't worry. I changed this design later on. I just had to kind of let it sit and exist with that for a bit before I changed. But there I am changing the terrain paint again. I'm going to do that about 10 more times before I finally decide on what terrain paint I want to use. That's just who I am. I'm sorry. So definitely we went through a couple of changes. Now we're doing the arena, and personally, so I'm building on a 64 by 64 lot, which is the biggest lot type you can have, or the biggest lot size, rather, you can have in The Sims 4. It was not big enough to have the round arena in it as well. So the square arena looks really big, bigger than it is probably in game. And I think it's just because I couldn't make the round arena quite as big. So now I'm working on the shops. They were quite fun. You'll notice that I put like little, okay, I don't know why I've stopped. I'm probably walking away to go make a sandwich or something. But anyways, you'll notice that there's like little changing rooms in them that are not, you can't necessarily see the changing rooms in game. But obviously you're not gonna sit and change clothes while you're just sitting on your horse. You're probably gonna go into a dressing room. So I try to make it a little bit more realistic. I have to say, I've really been enjoying the Equestrian Festival update. I don't think I've ever played with it before. I don't actually know if it's been in the game. I just came back to it because Dennis and then Poe both got me addicted to it again. Star Stable is one of those things, like, I'll play it for months at a time, and then I'll put it down for a couple of years and forget about it, and then I'll come back to it and play for months and months again. That's just how I am with Star Stable. But now that I'm making content with it, I am not a Star Stable YouTuber, for those who are wondering. I am just a YouTuber who happens to, I just want to do things that I'm enjoying, and right now I'm just really enjoying Star Stable. But now that I'm making content out of it, kind of, maybe I'll keep playing. I don't really know. I haven't purchased any star coins or anything since 2013. At the time of recording this, it was true. But since Double Star Coin Weekend hit in the middle of my addiction, so I have in fact purchased star coins since 2013. It took me 10 years. And I think that's okay, okay? Listen. I know I just did a whole video where I was like, Star Stable's sexist, and I still 100% stand by that, but I'm also, like, you're allowed to criticize something while also enjoying it. The Sims community is a prime example of that. Like, I just seem to gravitate towards problematic communities, I guess, whatever. But no, you can criticize something while still enjoying it, because ultimately criticism comes from, like, wanting the thing that you are enjoying to succeed. So whenever someone is critical of Star Stable, they're not saying like, oh my gosh, I hate this game. If they hated the game, they wouldn't be critical of it. They want the game to be the best it can be. And Star Stable has a lot of potential, just like The Sims 4, that is not being realized for whatever reason. So anyways, that's the end of my rant. Yes, I've purchased star coins. Yes, I'm having a fun time, but I still recognize there are issues with the game, and we as a community should still expect better from the Star Stable team. Anyways, I was really curious as to like, okay, how many star coins can I get for what? And I was expecting it to be like most games where like $1 gives you 100 of the in-game currency or whatever. Absolutely not. It's $6 for 100 star coins. I was shocked. So I don't know if I'm going to be buying star coins. I really hope Star Stable knows that for an adult player like myself who now has some level of disposable income, I would spend more money if you made it more microtransaction-y. Like, I know some people would complain about that. But think about this. If I'm spending $20 on 2,000 star coins, I really feel like I'm getting a lot of bang for my buck. And so every single time new horses are released, if I don't have star coins, I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll just go buy star coins. So you'll get somebody like me who hasn't purchased star coins since like 2013. You'll get me to then purchase star coins more frequently. So in the long run, you'll make more money. So I really hope Star Stable reanalyzes like their star coin price, because I think they would make a ton more money if they just lowered the star coin price, because more people would feel incentivized to buy them. But now I'm doing the actual inn, but I didn't want the inside to feel very pink. I feel like if Star Stable actually let you see the interior of the inn, you know, it'd probably be pink and very girly. But in The Sims 4, we actually have men, so I wanted it to be pretty gender neutral, so I went with a blue. And it's very cute and not sketchy anymore, which I feel definitely fits the vibe of Star Stable a lot more. Now I'm just doing the finishing touches. You'll notice that I have a lot of the Mount Komorebi, like Snowy Escape, like signs in place for like the racing signs and the sign by the stable that gives you all the chores. Something I will say about that you should be aware of if you play in this slot. So when I was playtesting, my Sims wanted to autonomously click on them and go hiking, but obviously we're in Hinford on Bagley. There are no places to go hike. So I just kept getting a ton of error messages because I have like a better exceptions mod installed, so it'll tell me when there's like an error or something. And it was just going crazy. It was like error, 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 error. So just be aware of that if you play in this lot, that you might have to remove the signs. I didn't remove them in the upload on the gallery just because I was like, well, they look nice. So definitely like replace them with something else. Replace them if you need to, or just delete them. I'm sorry I didn't do it, but you know. Also, fun fact about the like shavings / hay that are on the ground there. I originally wanted to use like, there's a yellow llama wool or something. I don't know. I wanted to use that because it looks more like hay. But when I upscaled it, the resolution was really crappy. So that is ancient bone dust from Jungle Adventure, I believe. That's just all over the ground. And now here's some of the dressing rooms. I used a lot of stuff from high school years. Obviously, they have like the thrift store. So I used those for the clothing racks. And then I also used some stuff from Get to Work. The most recent expansion pack, Growing Together, I did use a ton of stuff from that one too. So if you don't have that expansion pack, I definitely recommend it. I feel like it changed my gameplay a lot, but wait till it's on sale. This is not base game friendly. I'm really sorry. Listen, if I had to build this with just base game, it would not have been built. I can't do it. Anyways, that's the end of the build. See you later. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, make sure to leave it a like and subscribe and leave a comment if you want me to do more of these. Let me know what area of Jorvik you'd like me to build. Peace! See you later. I'm gonna go eat a grilled cheese, girl.